Hello, this is the website we built for Urban Landscape Design, who are based just west of London. They tend to do high-end design and build, as you can see from this photo on their homepage there. Um, their old website uh, overall look was pretty good. Let me just show that to you. Um, we've 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 not changed the style too much. We tried to keep it fairly similar because it wasn't a very old website. They had spent quite a bit of money on it. There was some sort of fundamental flaws, if you like. It wasn't really generating many inquiries. One of the biggest errors, to my mind, in building a website in this industry is putting a tint over a really good image like this. So I just come to our one here. We've used exactly the same image, but the moment you put a dark tint over it, and it's done so that this text here will stand out, it takes away all the color, all the green, all the color of the flowers and everything else. They're hidden away. And it always seems a waste when, the point about garden design landscaping is the beauty, the color of, what you do. And it always seems a waste to hide it away. These ones here, they hover and show up, so that's all fine. It's just this main one here. The other thing is the menu. It's one of those it's like mobile type menus where you click on it and then the menu appears, and it it just means that people can't easily see what is on offer, i.e., what other pages there are, where to go to look at past projects and everything else. Yes, they can find their way around, but the one of the jobs and one of the roles in designing a good website that's going to work, i.e., generate inquiries, is making life easy. And you have to always think about it from the point of view of your ideal customer. And in this industry, particularly for high value garden design and landscaping, it's going to be someone a bit older. It's going to be someone that is probably spending a bit of time over it. They're not rushing around. They're not trying to quickly find the information. They're browsing, they're looking around, and therefore giving them all the information they need, showing them what is on offer makes a lot of sense. So let's show you how we've changed it. So as I said, we've kept the same image here, but lightened the background so you can actually see the greeneries. So it's a bit more impressive. Um, the menu, it's simple. Look, here is the various things that they do. Here are links to past projects. We've got a gallery, we've got a blog, we've got some information on the company, and then contact information. Here's their social media, here's their phone number. It's all there. It's all easily accessible, which is it makes a difference when we look at the success of a website. When these things are easily accessible, they work better. I kept the same look here in terms of having the kind of the key things they do, and I think that works well. But really, from there on down, everything's a bit different. So we've we're spoiled with good photos, so we've tried to use as many of their impressive photos as we possibly can do. Um, we've tried to find that balance between text for search ranking and images for people. So wherever possible, we've tried to keep the focus on images. So we've got this sort of mini gallery here showing a few gardens that they've done. And then we've got a bit more text here because we need text for search ranking. So we need to have that text in there. Here's again, the same kind of thing, a little bit of text, and beside it, a couple of images, links through to their projects, Google reviews, blog, and so on. So, we've balanced the imagery with the text, so it's working both the search ranking and it's working for people, and that really follows throughout. Exactly the same on the service pages. Again, we want to get a lot of text in there to make them rank well in search results, but we want the photos and the images for people as well. They have, I think, some really good colors. There's this bright limey green, and then this darker, it's sort of almost a bluey grey, which work really well, and they offset the colors of the work they've done, the portfolio photos and so on, very nicely. And it stands out. It catches the eye, catches attention. Um, Projects obviously are key, and a note on projects: we tend to always try and include a location with a project, because obviously a lot of the time it's the same thing. It's garden design, it's garden transformation, it's things like that when you're doing a large project. When it's a small one, you can say patio, outdoor kitchen, but when it's a large one, it's a lot of different elements. One of the ways of differentiating between them, obviously photos help, but it's showing the location partly as well, because people will, if they see something near them, so somebody living in Ascot sees this one that's also been done in Ascot, they're almost certainly going to click on it. They're going to click on ones they like the look of. They're going to click on ones that are relevant to them in some way, such as in their local area. And I think pretty much everybody we work with is working in a relatively small radius of where they're based, and therefore there are places they're working in again and again. So having locations on the projects really helps to make it seem like they are a relatable business, because they are local to where the homeowner that's interested is living. Gallery, for any client we have that has done a lot of impressive work, lots of really good photos, we'll typically have a gallery. Give a shortcut way of seeing a few different examples of past work. So rather than going into projects for a sort of a deep dive into the detail, in a gallery, the customer can see lots of different things quickly, get some ideas of what they do and how they work. About page is one of the key pages, a real strong selling page, in that no good inquiry is going to come in without them looking at the about page, finding out a bit about the company, who they are, what they do, and so on. So it's important to have a nice strong about the company page. And then the contact page, simple is key with the contact page. Just the basic information, here's how you phone us, here's how you email us, this is where we're based, and here's a contact form to fill in, and we'll get in touch. So it's an evolution of their previous website rather than a complete redesign, because they were happy with the previous website. They spent a lot of time with the company that built it, but it wasn't really working from the point of view of generating inquiries. So we've sort of moved it on from there, and we've tried to make it visually more impressive. So let's show the photos much better. Let's demonstrate the quality of work they've done in the past. Let's give people much more information about what they do, all their services, show the projects. Here's the about page about the company, frequently asked questions, and so on. Make it far more accessible, and therefore people are more likely to get in touch when they're ready to get the garden done. So I hope that gives a good insight into what we've done for them, and how we've done it.